CCS Disability Action has put their submission off till tomorrow. Jan Cook and David Brailsford, or Jan?
Just me.
Yep, hi.
I do the paperwork, he does the heavy lifting.
That's fine. Come and make yourself at home.
Right, thank you. Well, I'm Jan Cook. I live on French Farm Valley Road on Akara Harbour, and ours is one of only 2 properties on the last couple of kilometres of that narrow, unsealed road, and we've been there over 25 years. We've always been pretty happy with our road. We certainly don't expect a super highway, but in the last few years we're very concerned about maintenance, and I'd have to say I've never heard so many comments from people around the district, especially since the last couple of rain events, about how the damage wouldn't have occurred and the flooding wouldn't have occurred on their properties if the drains and culverts had been cleaned out, and I've just heard that over and over again. So I think that routine maintenance just isn't happening and hasn't been for a few years. What's being done is superficial only. Bit of vegetation gets trimmed, the road gets scuffed through by the grader, and that's about all. And so after before this year, the previous big storm event that we'd had, I think it was about September, October 2012, we contacted the City Council about the damage that occurred then, and the fact that the culverts were blocked. Now, if we have a decent storm, my husband's up and down the road with a shovel doing what he can to make sure that things keep flowing, but he can only do so much. If the culverts are completely blocked up, then there's nothing you can do. And we met with Alan Cameron then, and he agreed that work was needed, and nothing happened, so we contacted him again about March last year. Got an email response, said that it would be done soon. So March this year, I'm thinking winter's coming again, better see when that's going to get done. And then, of course, we got that extraordinary amount of rain, which resulted in really serious damage to the road, in ruts that were 1/2 metre deep, washouts, and of course shingle that's been swept off the road and wrecked our fences. It's not just your own roads, it's other people's properties as well that this affects. And so, you know, we're told this is was an extraordinary event, there was going to be damage. I don't agree with that, because our own driveway, which is about 1/2 kilometre long, winding down a steep hillside, had absolutely no damage to it whatsoever, and that's because we look after it. When I well, first of all, I contacted the council several times to ask that a road closed sign was put up so that no one went up there. I did speak to Mr Cameron, and he told me that there are a lot of roads on the peninsula. There's an awful lot of roads, and you can't possibly maintain them all. And I was pretty astonished by that statement, and that's when I rushed off to the computer and filed off my one-line submission that I sent in, because I wasn't very impressed by that statement. I think that you do have to maintain our roads to at least a standard which keeps them passable for the users that need them, and also avoids tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage down the track. So, you know, I understand the pressures and demands that you've got on you, and of course we've heard a lot more about that since I made my submission. But there are some things you can't really afford not to do properly, and I've been self-employed for more than 30 years. So I know that if you don't finish what you start, and if you don't avoid mistakes, it all comes out of your own pocket in the end. And 3 or 4 lots of people have come now and looked at our road, and very little's been done. The culverts are still blocked, and yeah, I like the saying that says when all is said and done, a lot more will have been said than's been done. And I think that's what's happening here. I mean, you know, we're not trying to queue jump, but these things can't just be neglected. Our roads are our lifeline. There's a lot of damage occurring to the seawalls around the harbour. They're getting undermined. You know, we have a demographic now in our valley, for instance. My husband and I are the youngest residents in the valley by quite a long shot. There's no on the 2 farms in the valley, there are no resident farmers left. They're absentee owners.
Can I just ask, how many people actually live on your road?
There's only 2 properties now, although of course it's important for farm access, but it is also, of course, we're in a tourism area.
I
mean,
appreciate
there's
that.
I mean, there's camper vans.
No, I know the road. Would
yeah.
we be better to give you the road closed sign, actually?
Well,
Seriously.
I mean, this is the first time that it's been damaged to that extent where it really was dangerous. And in actual fact, what happened was about a week later, after I'd made these number of requests, a bus that got lost that was taking about 40 people to a wedding at French Farm Winery went up the road. And I think that could have had very serious consequences. And all it took was a sign. Yeah. Oh, yes. But we'd actually like the drains cleared, yes.
Just a quick question. You would have seen a truck down there at some point maintaining that culvert. Can you tell us who that contractor is?
The contractor is Fulton Hogan.
Fulton Hogan.
Yeah. But I think they need to actually be going around with shovels and not just standing there looking at things and scraping around with a grader every so often. Thank you. Got some shopping to do.
Sorry, I just brought a few photos as examples to highlight some of the points.